Have you ever just stopped and wondered, really wondered, why do we suffer? I mean, not just the big stuff, but the everyday grind, the anxieties.
Yeah.
Is it there, like an actual way out? Welcome to the deep dive.
Today we're getting into some really profound stuff, pulling from ancient wisdom, specifically a text called Gita for Joyful Living, and its take on Lord Krishna's teachings. Our goal here is to really unpack what these texts point to as the real reason we suffer. It's maybe not what you'd expect. And then we'll explore the path to liberation that's offered. It seems kind of counterintuitive at first, but it's presented as surprisingly simple. We'll look at this idea of illusion and what that means for finding, real peace.
Exactly. And we're really going to focus in on some key insights, especially from verse 14 of chapter 7 in the Gita and the teachings connected to it. The central theme we're diving into today is this powerful idea: surrender is the means to liberation.
Surrender. Yeah, that word itself can make you pause, right?
Yeah.
Especially today when it's all about taking charge. It can, absolutely. But we'll see how the text lays it out as, well, the most direct path away from our deepest struggles.
Okay, so let's jump right into that core concept, though. This idea that our body, our mind, everything we think of as me is part of an illusion. That sounds intense. And the text says this makes liberation, finding freedom, very difficult.
It does say difficult, yes. But what's really interesting here and crucial is that it also stresses it's not impossible. I mean, the text itself makes a kind of logical argument. If freedom was impossible, why would texts like the Vedas or the Gita even exist? Their whole point is guidance.
Right. They wouldn't be pointless instructions for an impossible task.
Exactly. The difficulty comes because while we're trying to understand and escape something while being part of it, our mind, our senses, they operate within the illusion we're trying to see beyond.
Like trying to see the matrix from inside the matrix.
Pretty much, yeah. A good analogy. You're bound by its rules.
So if we're sort of caught in this illusion, what does the text say actually causes the suffering we feel day to day?
Oh, well, Lord Krishna gives a very clear breakdown. It's almost like a diagnostic chart, step by step, showing the chain reaction that leads to suffering.
Okay, lay it on us. Where does it start?
It starts with something really foundational, almost cosmic. Point 1. God is considered the material cause of everything.
Material cause. What does that mean, practically speaking?
Think of it like clay and a pot. The pot isn't just made by clay, it is clay. Its substance is clay. So the text says, similarly, the entire creation, you, me, the world, is God in essence. Made of God, so to speak.
Whoa, okay. That's a lot to take in. If everything is God, why don't we perceive it that way? Why isn't life just bliss?
Great question. And that's step 2. We don't see this truth because of our attachments.
Attachments, okay.
Yeah, these attachments, they act like filters or blinders. They cloud our vision, preventing us from seeing the divine nature that's inherent in everything.
So attachments are the barrier. Where do they come from? Are we just born with them?
Well, that leads to point 3. The text says they arise directly from our interactions with the world. Specifically from our strong likes and dislikes.
Likes and dislikes, like preferring coffee over tea, that kind of thing.
It starts there, yeah. Think about anything you strongly, like you want more of it, you want to keep it. Anything you strongly dislike, you want to avoid it, push it away. This constant pull of desire and aversion, wanting this, not wanting that, that's the breeding ground for attachment. It fuels it.
Huh. So everyday preferences, when they get strong enough, become the seed of this bigger problem.
Precisely. And then step 4, that attachment causes a delusion in the mind. It's not just being mistaken. It's like our perception gets fundamentally twisted.
Okay.
This delusion, this warped view, actively stops us from seeing God or the divine in the world around us. And following from that, point 5, this deluded mind becomes ignorant of the world's true nature. It simply can't see reality as it is, this divine manifestation, because the delusion is in the way.
So the delusion creates the ignorance.
Yes, it's a direct consequence. And finally, the culmination, step 7. This ignorance, born from attachment delusion, is identified as the single direct cause of all our sufferings.
Wow. Not the bad event, not the difficult person, but our ignorance of the true nature of things, stemming from our likes and dislikes.
That's the diagnosis according to this teaching. It's our internal state, our perception. That's the root issue.
Okay, that's a really clear, if maybe challenging, picture of the problem. So naturally, the next question is, how do we fix it? How do we break that chain?
And that brings us right to the solution offered by Lord Krishna. The first, most crucial step Complete surrender to God.
Complete surrender. There's that word again.
Yes. And it's presented not just as a belief, but as a practical way to dismantle that whole chain of suffering we just talked about.
So what does surrender actually mean in this context? Is it just giving up?
Not quite giving up in the sense of defeat. It's more about a profound shift in understanding. It means really internalizing that God is omnipresent everywhere, in everything. And critically, realizing that everything happening, every event, big or small, is unfolding according to his will or the divine plan, if you prefer.
Everything. Even the bad stuff.
According to this view, yes. It implies that we're constantly interacting with the divine, whether we're aware of it or not. And the text suggests when you truly grasp this, when you let go of the illusion that you are the ultimate controller, well, fear and anxiety don't really have a place to stand anymore.
Okay, no fear or anxiety. That definitely gets my attention.
Yeah.
But how does this surrender practically play out? What changes day to day?
That's the key, isn't it? The practical side. Well, the text explains that as you genuinely practice this surrender, those strong likes and dislikes we talked about start to diminish.
How's
Well, if you truly accept that things are unfolding as they should, under a divine will, your desperate clinging to specific outcomes, I need this promotion, I can't handle the situation, it naturally starts to soften.
right? You become less fixated.
Exactly. You become less invested in forcing things, more accepting of what is. And when those likes and dislikes lessen, the attachment automatically reduces.
Because attachment grows from those strong preferences.
Correct. You're cutting it off at the source. And then something quite profound happens, as the text puts it. When the force of attachment is reduced when we surrender to God, our mind will mature enough to understand the truth that the world is an illusion.
So surrender clears the way for understanding the illusion.
Precisely. It's not that the world vanishes, but your perception shifts. You start to see past the surface appearances, past what the Gita calls Maya, this divine energy that creates the illusion of separation, and the three modes or gunas that color our experience.
Seeing the mechanics behind the scenes, kind of.
That's a good way to put it, seeing the strings, not just the puppets.
Okay, but here's something I imagine many people think, myself included. We're taught to strive, to use our willpower, to overcome challenges through sheer effort. Why can't we just, try harder to see through this illusion? Why isn't self-effort enough?
That's a very natural question, and the text addresses it directly. It explicitly states, it is not possible to work hard against the illusion and win over it using our own self-effort.
Not possible. Why not?
Because the very tools you'd use, your mind, your intellect, your willpower, are themselves part of the illusion.
Right. The tools are compromised.
Exactly. You can't use the tools of the illusion to dismantle the illusion. It's like trying to lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. It just doesn't work fundamentally. You're operating within its confines.
So trying harder just digs you deeper, in a way.
It reinforces the illusion of yourself as the separate doer who can conquer it. The text argues that to be truly free, you have to surrender to the master of illusion, God. You can't outwit the game designer from inside the game. You have to appeal to the designer. Surrender provides that outside connection.
And this isn't just one interpretation. The text is emphatic. It mentions Teaching 90, specifically states, surrendering to the master of illusion, God, is the only way to gain liberation from illusion. The only way. That's pretty definitive.
It is, and it's echoed powerfully in the core verse we mentioned, chapter 7, verse 14. This divine Maya of mind, consisting of the three modes of nature, is difficult to overcome, acknowledging the difficulty first. But, it continues, those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Easily cross beyond it. That word easily jumps out, especially after hearing how difficult it is. What's the catch?
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? The difficult part refers to trying to do it under your own power, using the limited tools of the ego and mind, which are part of Maya. The easy part comes through surrender. It's easy not because the obstacle shrinks, but because you're aligning yourself with or tapping into the infinite power behind the illusion, God's power.
So it's easy for God, and by surrendering, that ease becomes available to you.
That's the essence of it. You're letting the master of the illusion handle the processing. It's the key that unlocks a door that seemed permanently locked from the inside.
Okay, so wrapping this up for today. We started by looking at suffering, tracing its roots back through ignorance, delusion, attachment, all stemming from our likes and dislikes, according to these teachings. This whole process keeps us from seeing the world's true divine nature, the illusion.
Right. And then we explored the path out. Not fighting harder within the illusion, but complete surrender to God, the master of that illusion.
And this surrender, surprisingly perhaps, is what reduces fear, loosens the grip of attachment, and allows the mind to mature, to finally perceive the truth, and, as the verse says, easily cross beyond Maya.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, something to ponder as you go about your week. If you really entertain this idea that all events, all of them, are unfolding by divine will, and that you are in every single moment interacting with that divinity, what would it actually mean for you to let go of your perceived control? How might really embracing that perspective shift how you react to challenges, how you feel about uncertainty, how you even pursue happiness? Just consider that relationship between letting go, surrendering that feeling of I'm in charge, and finding true, lasting freedom. What does that look like for you?